What's the process been like this week so far?
Go ahead, boss. You ready? Yes, sir. Yeah. Right. Yeah. First and foremost, I want to thank God for being here. It's been a dream come true, man. Got to thank my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. But that's something that I was put into me at an early age, was my foundation in Christ, and that's something that I was inspired by other athletes growing up, and I want other kids to be inspired by me, not only just on the field, but how I carry myself off the field, because I think that's very important. The platform I have and the influence that I have on the world is something that I take really seriously, and I want to be responsible while doing that, and I want to be effective in my community, and I want people to look at me as a role model. So that's one of the reasons why I do that.
Have you got a chance to meet with the Houston Texans?
Yes, sir, I have.
What was that meeting like?
It went really well. I got to meet everybody on their front office, and had a great conversation, asked me some questions, and I feel like I did really good in the interview process with them, and looking forward to going deeper and deeper, build a relationship with them.
CJ, what is it that you want to show in those interviews?
Yeah, one thing about me, I want to show first and foremost is my foundation, how I am as a man, how I am as my person. And of course, I want to show I'm a man of God, and let that be known. And then secondly, I just want to show that who I am. I want to be myself. I want to be unapologetic myself. No matter what room I step in, I want to let them know that I control the room and that I'm a leader. And then third, I want to show them the IQ that I have about the game when they ask me questions about plays or different things like that. That I let them know that I am a student of the game, and I'm willing to learn, and I know I have a lot to learn. So, but I do come from an offense that is high power, and I did put a lot of points up, but am willing to go back to square one and learn it all over again just to be great at this league. So those are three things I'll try to show.
You mentioned your football IQ. I mean, what have you seen in your meetings with teams and stuff that has kind of prepared you for what you're seeing in the NFL?
Yeah, Coach Day and everybody at Ohio State, dealing with Coach Harline, Coach Jennings, Coach Fitch, Coach Wilson, our old offensive coordinator. They do a great job in our building, just because it is a mini NFL team, and they make you get up on the board, they make you explain the plays back. It's not just them coaching you all the time. You have to be the coach on the team, and that's something that I took very serious, was not only being a leader, but being that coach on the field. And if somebody forgot a route, or somebody forgot the protection, or somebody did this wrong or that wrong, I think on film you can constantly see me pointing things out, run up to dudes, tell them routes, tell them plays, and I think that just shows the what I'm willing to do just to be great and to be a coach on the field.
CJ.
Yes, sir. That was my first formal interview that I had. Met Coach McDaniels, met everybody in the front office, and went really well. Had a great conversation with them. Kind of got to explain what my offense was, and they asked me about my athleticism and things like that, if I can do it at the next level, and I told them yes, sir. So had a great conversation with them. They asked me about some family stuff as well. So just being really honest and trying to just build that relationship and that connection. Yeah, so for me, as I try to describe my style as one, free-flowing, but still disciplined, still able to take the completion when it's there, but at the same time making plays. I like to be just confident really in myself, and another thing I like to do is kind of just extend plays, and but take the routine plays when they're routine. So I don't try to press the envelope, and I think that's very important being a quarterback sometimes, because you want to let your teammates know that you're not always trying to be Superman, but when you need to make that play and you can extend that play, you get a lot more respect from your teammates. So those are just things I like to do. I think I'm a playmaker. I think I'm very creative, and I think I'm smart when it comes to protections and things like that, because I solve a lot of issues before they're even there, and that's something I pride myself on. And one thing about me, I think I'm a ball placement specialist. That's one thing. I like to be very accurate. I don't want my receivers have to do really anything to catch the ball, and I think I've shown that time and time on film. Again.
CJ, what's an area?
Any football visits to the Falcons, and you just show the game against Georgia as the game to show off your skills?
Yeah, I've had a formal interview with the Falcons. Met the head coach, met the OC, got to meet the general manager. And yeah, it went very, very well. Had a great interview with them. They're real fiery in there, real. They're kind of like big kids, they're just kind of cool. At the same time, asking really good questions, being very honest, and I appreciated that. So that interview went really well. And then I had what was the second question? I'm sorry.
Facing the Bulldogs.
Yeah, I mean, everybody kind of highlights that game, but for me, I think you can put on my film. I think I've been the best player in college football 2 years in a row, and I think I've consistently done that. And I think that honestly, I think I haven't even touched my potential yet. I think that I have a lot more to get better at, but I have a lot more to not only prove, not only to y'all, but to myself. And that's something I plan to do, because I honestly don't think that I even got close to anything in college yet. So I'm excited to see what I do in the NFL.
Is there a specific?
I'm sorry, I can't. Yeah, I mean, growing up for me, one of the reasons I wore number 7 was because Michael Vick. So he inspired me not only just to be athletic and use my athleticism, but as a black quarterback to stay in the pocket and throw the ball, and that's something that he was very underrated in. And then I looked up to Deshaun Watson a lot as somebody I feel like I have a similar playing style to, and then Joe Burrow, being able to create, not being the fastest guy ever, be able to kind of extend plays, throw guys off of you, just be tough, and that's something that I feel like I'll do in this game.
CJ, coming from a winning program like a
playing with so many talented players, is there anybody in the NFL like throughout season you would love to go through?
Yeah, I mean, I've had to answer this question a couple of times, and I don't want to put nobody on the hot seat and try to say this receiver, that receiver. I mean, when you're in the NFL, I feel like every receiver is kind of dominant, but of course, all those special guys. So I'm excited to see wherever I go, man, and I want to build that connection with every team that is. So if that's any receiver, if that's a tight end, I want to build that with the whole offense and the whole connection of that team. So I don't really have any exact names, but yeah, I'm open to really throw to anybody.
CJ, coming from a winning program like Ohio State, how do you mentally prepare yourself to get ready to go to a team NFL team that may be going through a rebuild process?
Yeah, I mean, for me, that's something I'm not really foreign to. I had to do it in high school, and I know that's a long time ago, and it's not as big as NFL, but it's something that kind of prepared me a little bit for this. And being at a place like Ohio State, they prepare you for things like that, though. It's not always going to be grass, not always going to be green on the other side, and that's something that Coach Day consistently tells you. So he prepares you for things like that, and I definitely think that if I do get put in a situation like that, then I'm gonna try to go in there with just complete confidence and remain humble and go to work. Because at the end of the day, trying to flip a script and trying to build something, trying to build not only just a rebuild, but build a franchise and build a dynasty, and that's something I want to do. It takes hard work and it takes consistency, so that's something I'm willing to do.
What did you think about
Yeah, I mean, I've had a lot of conversation with older veterans. I remember the conversation with Larry Fitzgerald I had up in Arizona at the Super Bowl, and he was basically telling me kind of just the confidence piece about it, just being really confident in yourself, and really just being a student of the game, not being too cool for school, going in there and controlling that team from all the way from rookie minicamp, and I think that's how it starts, because I don't think you can build a dynasty or build something like that without a good foundation, and that's something that I want to do when I come in is be a leader, and of course not demand respect, but earn it, build trust off the field, and be a leader not only on the field but off as well. So that's what I plan to do. I'll be honest. I told him like I'll tell y'all. I mean, I didn't do it a lot in college, and I feel like I should have, and it's something I do regret. I feel like I could have done it a lot more, but I think if you turn on the film, you really watch what I do, and you really look at film game to game, I have used my athleticism, not only just in the Georgia game, where I did it a lot. I've done it in every other game. I've had tough third down runs. I've had tough fourth down runs. But it is times where I didn't run the ball, or maybe I should have, and I feel like that's something that I learned, and that's what football is about, man. It's about stepping back up to the plate and going back and working hard and fixing those problems. So that's something that I plan to fix, and I'll show my pro day, I'll show my athleticism, I'll show my availability to escape pressure. And I've done it before on film, but since people don't think I can do it, I'm going to do it again.
CJ, what did you think of Justin Fields this season, your fellow Ohio State?
Yeah, I was proud of him, man. There's so many times you get knocked back down, but I feel like a true man's character is when you get knocked down, how do you get up? And he's got up every time, and he stepped up to the plate, and he hasn't blamed anybody, hasn't pointed no fingers, he hasn't anything. And that as a human, that just shows you what type of man he is, and what type of family he comes from. So just knowing kind of him as a person, I mean, that's really cool. just because it's hard, man. You get hit so hard, so many times hard in the face. It's you have to make plays using your feet, and he ain't no damn running back. He's a quarterback, and he can sling that rock. So I'm going to stand up for my brother every time, and he's going to do great things in his career, and I'm excited to play with him.
You said you think about the Bears and instead of weird things to think about?
I mean, no, I don't want to go there. I mean, that's his team. So, but I mean, I think I got to do my thing. I got to go build my legacy, and I know he's rooting me. He texted me yesterday morning. So, me and him are brothers for life.
What do you think pulled it out of you so much in that Georgia game?
That was one of the games I felt really, really healthy. I was dealing with some hamstrings, but I mean, at the end of the day, you can't use no excuse. If you lose games, then that's what matters. You can't lose. But one thing that kind of motivated me was just honestly people thinking that we couldn't play as a team no more. They didn't think that Ohio State was meant to be in the playoff, and that's something that I took to heart because at the end of the day, we the Buckeyes, and we was going to show that. And I feel like we did, even though we did lose. We let everybody know that who we are, and we don't turn down no fade. We going to look you in the eye, we're going to hit you in the mouth. And that's something that we did for 4 quarters, and we got to just finish those last 5 minutes off. And but shout out to Georgia, man. They're a great football team, but at the end of the day, I feel like we all got to prove who we are as not only just as a player, but as a program.
You said you pride yourself on it.
The incompleteness, like not being able to beat Michigan, not being able to win that championship, that motivates you more just because it's like I got to finish this chapter, but it's not really finished in a sense.
Yeah, I mean, I was honestly going to come back to school. It was really hard for me to leave a place like Ohio State where it takes time to get to where I was at, and it takes a lot of hard work, a lot of trust building, a lot of camaraderie off the field, and that's something you can't just throw in the trash right away. And I don't feel like I did that coming to the league. It was a smart decision for me, I feel, but it was really hard. And of course, like you said, not beating that team up north, not winning the national championship were 2 goals of mine, and of course, not winning the Heisman. Was I feel because of those losses, that's kind of hurts, you know what I'm saying? Because I feel like I could have won 2 Heismans back to back if I win those 2 games. So, but at the end of the day, man, it's a part of God's plan, and I don't question that. It put a little more fire on me, put another chip on my shoulder. So I'm excited to go to the league and do better things than that, because that wasn't God's plan. So let's see what the league got for me now.
You said you pride yourself in accuracy. Where did that? Was there a time, maybe high school, where you were working on that? How'd you get to that point, and what's the key to that?
Yeah, that's something I kind of grew up doing. Like I said, in youth ball, my coach, his name is Coach Tojo Munford. I would play for the Outlaw Warriors growing up, and he forced me to stay in the pocket. He forced me to be accurate. And my high school coach, Coach Verdi, we used to do like little bubble screens, and if I didn't hit the top shoulder, I'd do 10 push-ups or little small things like that. So it forced me to be accurate, and not only just on deep shots, but like on those bubble screens, on slants, on outs. It's being quarterback friendly to my receivers, and that's something that I pride myself on.
Last question, please.
No, I mean, if you watch my film, I think I can show the balance. But at the end of the day, when dudes are open, you feed your guys the ball, or they look at you like you're crazy when you walk back to the sideline. So I think if you're open, you're gonna get the ball messing with me, or if it's I know how to. I think something that I'm good at too, and I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but I throw guys open, and that's something that I think is rare because at the league, dudes aren't wide open, and I think I've done that in my career where guys aren't wide open, but I try to throw them that way. I try to throw them down. I try to throw them out. I try to throw it over his shoulder, things like that, because separation is not always going to be there. So that's something that I pride myself on, and sometimes I get so invested in the read because, I mean, you spend 8 hours on one play. I guarantee you're not going to just go 1, 2 run. You're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4 and really try to figure out who's open. And you want to feed your guys the rock, man. Everybody at Ohio State that I played with from year 1 to year 2 is extremely hard workers, and I want to feed them. You know what I'm saying? I want them to eat just like I am. So that's something that I pride myself on. But when it's time to dip my shoulder and go get that first down or something like that, I'm going to do that too.
Great, thank you. I'm going to grab that nameplate. We can head back to.
Thank you guys, man. God bless.